Narrative Podcast. My name is Kim Fuller. This is Quentin Cooler. And this is Early Saldano. And we are the hosts of
Peace to the God.
Change the Narrative Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Change the Narrative Podcast will be a show where we discuss different issues and topics that affect Belizeans abroad as well as Belizeans at home. Why did we choose the name Change the Narrative? Quentin, why don't you tell everyone why we decided on that particular name?
Well, to be honest, we chose the name for several different reasons, but the main reason is we want to control our narrative, our culture, our story.
That's right.
We're tired of, and I don't want to say tired, that's kind of harsh, but we just hate to hear some of the description and the views and experiences some people have of the place we love, the jewel, Belize.
Mm-hmm.
And we also want to paint a picture of our culture, who we are as people, the food we eat, the stuff we talked about, the stuff that make us smile, and fight and argue. But at the same time, we also want to talk about the stuff that brings us together. So we just want to control our story, our own narrative, and that's the reason why.
And who better to do it than Belizeans?
That's right.
100%.
So we're all Belizeans here early.
100%.
Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, out of the three of us sitting here, I left Belize a long time ago. I left when I was a kid, and so but I've always been immersed in the Belizean culture. My mom, my entire family, we kept that culture the whole time, and I've always wanted to remain connected to Belize, no matter what. I've never
Belizean to the bone, never losing who we are.
I look forward to the food every weekend, and I look forward. I get on my internet and I search and I find out what's going on in Belize news daily. I reach out on social media, to see what's going on back home, and I always look forward to going back home.
That's right.
Going back in January, can't wait.
Wow.
And I just love it. I love it.
Right. Quentin, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about you?
Sure. Well, I'm Quentin Fuller, from Belize.
Everyone knows him as Lamb.
Yeah, that's my nickname is Lamb. Everybody knew me because I played basketball and so forth. But I also left Belize when I was a kid. Also, And but I, unlike him, I go back every year. I go home every year. Oh yeah.
What?
I go back every year, and try to stay grounded and stay in tune with what's going on back home. And I just want to present a platform for people back home, because the thing that got to me was watching the stuff that goes on in our culture now, where we have our news, who is constantly showing just
crime and violence.
Crime and violence.
Sensationalize it.
Oh yeah.
All day, every day.
Then you got some of my friends who are Belizean Americans like myself, who are telling me stuff like, "Hey man, Belize is high risk, low reward."
Yes.
Man, Belize,
yes, they say that all the time.
They say it all the time. Like, bro, at the end of the day, Belize will not change if you don't make it change. We cannot have the politician create our narrative. We cannot have foreigners create our narrative. It's the people. It's the people that live there, the people who are from there, the people who know the culture, know the people can control that narrative. So that's one of the reasons why, again, we circle back to why it came up with the name. That's the reason why that's the name I wanted to call it, because that's going to reflect what we're trying to accomplish throughout this whole podcast.
That's right. So we want to draw your attention to our logo, because the logo is also a representation of what the show is about. For our logo, we took the popular folklore, or Belizean folklore of Tata Duende.
That's right.
And we changed the narrative on him. Yeah. We basically modernized them.
That's right.
Make him fly.
Make him swag. That's his swag.
Yeah. But we definitely kept the main characteristics of Tata Duende in doing that, where his entire torso is turned backwards.
Correct.
And we wanted to go with something that symbolizes our culture a little bit.
Correct,
you know?
correct. He's, instead of a creepy old dude, he's a younger guy, you know what I mean? Look,
Right.
you know, handsome, you know what I mean? And he's a representation of what a young Belizean is today, you know what I mean? And you know, they are the ones that's gonna, you know, set the path forward for the future, and that's what we're trying to do with our logo.
Excellent. So today, for our first show, yes, it will be an introductory so that everyone can get to meet the host and just get an idea of what we're about. But we also have a topic that we want to talk about. As everyone knows Clinton as a basketball player, so it's only fitting that we kick off our first show talking a little bit about basketball, but not about him specifically.
Nah, I really like talking about me. You know what I'm saying?
What we're going to do tonight is we are going to have a discussion about who we believe. Clinton says it's going to be universal and set in stones, but for tonight is who we believe are the top 25 Belizean basketball players. And our timeline is from the 90s?
From the start of semi-pro in
Start of semi-pro
till now. You know what I'm
until
saying?
now.
Straight up.
The people on our list are not necessarily just semi-pro players.
But
just
they-
want to put that out
But
there.
they played in Belize.
They played in Belize, and
somewhat.
they, first and foremost, most importantly, are Belizeans.
Belizeans.
Okay?
Yeah. So before we even get into that, I hate to cut you off, but
Yes.
this is something that I really got to say,
Right.
and this goes out to my people in Belize.
This is the first thing we want the narrative changed on.
Yeah,
right?
this narrative has to change. I mean, growing up in Belize, right? Right.
Right.
Who you know is your icon in Belize? Who's your icon?
George Price.
George
Price.
You said George Price. Who's your icon? Who's
George
Belize?
Price. For me too.
That's your icon, right?
Right.
So everyone in Belize knows George Price as our icon. You'll say Philip Golson and Damon Itaga. Yeah.
People in politics, basically.
It's always politicians, right? And by the way, shout out to the politicians that even make Belize a reality, because at the end of the day, these guys
Yes.
gave us a home, gave us a country to call our home. So enough respect goes out to George Price and the founders of the country.
But they're not the only people
But
who
they're
needs to
not,
be
and that's
recognized.
my point. That's not my point. And what I want to change the narrative on is this concept or idea that we only will celebrate people or give people their flowers and jewels when they're dead. I got to change the narrative on that, because me personally know for a fact, I know two icons right now that are Belizean. One is in Belize right now, and one is in the United States. And I'm saying this to whoever this can touch, whether you're a politician or you're a person in power that can make changes. I think it's sad. It's beyond sad at this point that we have to bring this up, you know what I mean, in regards to these guys getting the full due and full recognition. The first person I want to talk about, okay, had the opportunity, like many other Belizeans at that time, to flee, to leave Belize, and to probably have a prosperous life here in the States. But this person is so selfless, and he had a vision for his country, that he gave that up to go back to Belize to help out as many people as he can. This person I'm talking about transcends any sport played in the entire country of Belize. I'm talking about whether it's soccer, volleyball, football, whatever, boxing. This person transcends any one of those sports. This person I also talk about has helped out more youngsters coming out of the ghetto, coming out of the hood, coming out from the south side of Belize than any other politician that you can think about. But yet, this person has not gotten his full due. Now, when I say he hasn't gotten his full due, because I saw it from a first-hand account of what I saw when I was there. When I was younger, this individual helped me out personally. Showed me the ropes, showed me show me how to play basketball. Gave me all the tools I need to be successful in life. stuck with me when there was no one else there. Gave me the formula to be successful. Getting up early in the morning to practice. That's 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Eat good, study, make sure I'm passing all my classes. He made sure that all of that came to my graduation and made sure I was represented on one of the few times we ever won gold in that country. This individual is damn near responsible for half of damn near all basketball players in Belize because he influenced pretty much all of them. You see what I'm saying? And he's yet to get his recognition. I remember as a kid, they were telling this individual that he don't, the Belizeans or the other people, they're looking at us and say they don't know why he's wasting his time with these
little
ghetto kids from the South Side because all they're gonna turn out to do is smoke weed and sell drugs. But checkmate, the joke is on you. That didn't happen. I still don't smoke, and if I drink one time for the month, that's a lot. You know what I mean? So you were wrong on that, and this individual, again, didn't get no props on that. The other thing, everyone talks about the CARICOM games in 1998. Mm-hmm. Every Belizean, they're proud. That's one of the proudest moments.
We're trying to figure out who this person is.
He's building up.
Keep the
he's building waiting, the suspension.
You gotta understand.
And the award is.
This person means a lot to me personally, man. Because this man changed my life and changed a lot of people's life. You know what I mean? And again, doing CARICOM, he was the one that set that whole thing up together. The whole team that came together, it was him. It wasn't no politician. It was none of that. But a lot of people took credit for it. So with no further ado, man, this person is Clinton Puller Lightburn. You know what I'm saying? This dude deserved to be given a street name after him, and definitely needs to have his jersey hanged up in that new Civic Center, man.
I agree with that. I agree.
Definitely.
Now,
hands down.
Yeah, and I agree. I did. The first time I got to meet him was in '94.
Word.
And throughout my years growing up in the U.S., I always heard his name.
Right.
I always heard his name, and everybody talked about him along with some other older players as well. But I got a chance to meet Puller the first time I played semi-pro down there.
Right.
And I asked, I used to go to the gym and shoot around by myself, and he came up there a few times and was shooting with me. And that man, I will say, that man loves basketball, he loves Belize, and he loves the U. So, everything that was just said, I concur. I have no disagreements with that at all.
Again, and the second individual, man, was, I had first-hand seat. He was one of the only Belizean that took it the farthest, that set a new standard. But unlike myself, you know what I'm saying? He was actually born in Los Angeles.
To Belizean parents. But this dude I'm talking about, he's more Belize than most Belizeans I know. You know what I'm saying? He's Belizean to the bone. And what hurts me is when you see people who are quasi-Belizean, be successul, make it up top, and for some reason they forgot about Belize. They don't mention Belize, you know what I mean? But this individual I'm talking about, I've watched it, interviews after interviews, whether he's in the United States or overseas somewhere, he's repping Belize to the fullest. What has he done for the country?
He's won
we
gold
have to
medal.
talk about that.
He's won gold. He's won silver. You know what I mean? He's coaching the national team. He's giving back. He's doing more than me right now. And I kind of like, I feel the type of way about that.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Change that narrative.
I gotta change that too. This is the reason why I'm doing this, this platform. But he has done all that, man. And again, he has not gotten the key to the city. He has not gotten recognition, and for sure they haven't paid him because we can't pay this man. But the person I'm talking about is Milt Palacio, man. And Milt, shout out, big love, man.
Yep.
And again, this is another individual that I believe should have his jersey retired in the civic center.
I agree.
In addition to that, because back in '98, I don't know if y'all knew,
Man.
back in '98, the politicians promised us land. You feel me? Them
But give that some context.
yo,
So we
these-
won when we won the
when we won
Caribbean
gold
games,
medal.
right?
When we won the gold medal, bro, they invited us. They did a whole big spiel, invited us to the government house, did cameras and all this nonsense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have us walked up, gave us an envelope, bro, talking about we got y'all some land in 8 miles. But in the envelope, bro, it was empty, just a name on the envelope, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It's photo ops.
Photo op.
It's
That's
photo op.
yo.
We did give them something.
Yeah,
Anybody can ask what was in that envelope. Can be debatable.
Exactly.
Right.
So
You know.
so we didn't get our land. We didn't get our respect. He didn't get any of that. The least Belize can do is to get this man his jewels, his flowers now. Make this man jersey official. Retire his jersey in Belize. The number 5 national team jersey in Belize. Or name a street. We don't even need the land. We could trade. We'll make that trade. You got to give us the land right now. Right now. But name a street. You could give us the land, and then the streets that run through the land, put his name on the street. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think
but
it's
for real.
important to do that because I remember going to the Caribbean games,
Word.
'98, right? And even now, I mean, it is what 20 years later,
Yeah.
and still, whenever we talk about Belize and basketball in any form of accomplishment, what do we go to? We go to CARICOM.
CARICOM, man.
And Milt was the leader of that team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, I mean, he led that team to the goal, and he keeps coming back.
Yeah.
You know, he's still involved with Belize
All reliable.
right now.
You know what I'm saying? He's all reliable, man. But for some reason, man.
We're taking him for
For
granted.
some reason. It's not just like I said, that's just him. It's him, it's Polo. And we did, even, I hate to change topic, even in music, we didn't recognize Andy Palacio.
Yeah, he died, and it's like
And then Palacio took the Belize flag wherever he went on his
that's
back.
right.
We didn't honor, it gave Mr. Peters
Mr. Peters, yeah.
the full-fledged, respect that he needed. You
We
feel
just
what I'm saying?
don't do
It
it.
seems like all we tend to do is give respect and honor to politicians. And come on, man. I mean, some of these politicians deserve it. Like I said, the founders and the guys that brought Belize together, they definitely deserve the respect and honor that they got.
Mm-hmm.
But we also got these individuals within our society that kids need to know are role models, were our role models,
Mm-hmm.
and need to be respected and treated that way.
Right.
That's right.
I agree. I agree 100%. And I think, recognition is something that has to be done. I played basketball, but
You sure did.
in Belize, I think if we're going to go down that avenue, I think there has to be we got to recognize the work that these people do
Right.
more so than the work that they put on the court. And what you were saying, like Milt and Pulla, those are the things that, when in the U.S., when you look at Muhammad Ali, phenomenal boxer.
That's
But outside of boxing,
Didn't do
I
it.
mean, we can go on forever.
Man, that's people
know,
love him more outside of boxing.
To the younger kids listening to this podcast now, they know LeBron James.
Correct.
Look at the stuff that this man is doing.
Outside.
And
basketball.
I want to keep it in my country. So I'm going to go back to Milt and
Pull.
Pulla. I mean, like I said, you see Pulla every day doing something for kids. You can go. It's
day.
probably, what time is it in Belize right now? About 7 o'clock. About 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
You go down there. I assure you, if he's not welcoming
Coaching.
some tourists that's visiting Belize,
Right.
he is coaching or doing something around basketball
Positive.
right now, positive all the time.
To push the flag. You know what I'm saying?
And that this program changed the narrative. More and more, it's giving me different ideas and different questions, leads to more questions.
Right.
So I think we talk about what people got to do for Belize. I think trying to implement something like a recognition, a Belizean Grammy Awards or Belizean CNN has the Heroes
Awards.
Awards,
Yeah.
or something of that nature. because they had to be someone else that Puller got his from.
Right.
And we need to know
who that person is.
Who that person is.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and things like that.
But I'll tell you what, bro. I'll tell you what. I think what it boils down to at the end of the day, man, the first thing these people will tell you is the money. It's everything will boils back down to the money. We didn't have the money to do. But let me tell y'all this straight up, all right? Because we talked about this.
Yeah.
If we have to pay to put these guys' jerseys in the rafters, man,
We'll do it.
we're willing to do it, man. Just give us the platform and opportunity to do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because for me, it means that much. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that these guys already did the job. They already, you know what I mean? They did the work.
And they continue to do it today.
They did the work.
And it goes back. It goes back to I think, and this is just my perspective and how I feel. I believe that a lot of the government, certain things don't really much matter. It doesn't matter.
And that's
and what
should.
matters is, and what matters a lot for them, it's always about what's going on right now.
Right now.
It doesn't. And it's kind of it's.
But I think this has an impact.
Sucks.
This has an impact on why a lot of kids
Don't strive
for better because guess
they
what?
don't-
Guess who they see as the role models in Belize?
Mhm.
Those same politicians that you're talking about.
Yeah, they do.
You know
They
what I'm
do
saying?
sometimes.
And these guys, I mean, come on, man. In my life, I've never looked at a Belizean politician
And this is
as a role model.
yeah, and
You know what I'm saying?
because this is not a 45-minute or hour show. We're gonna move on to the topic. Go back on topic of the best Belize. What was it? What we have?
So
What was it called? It's debatable.
I mean, it's a good segue
Even with
anyway.
me.
You know, so what we're going to talk about is the top 25 Belizean basketball players since the start of semi-pro. And again, disclaimer: it is not necessarily
In this order.
just semi-pro players.
Not only that, listen, first off, I want to say much respect to any one of the guys that played basketball in the 70s, the 60s, and the 80s. You guys deserve to get y'all flowers too. You guys laid it down, and we are
Yes.
paying homage to you guys. You know what I mean? We you know what I mean? It just sucks that there wasn't a whole lot of tape around or footage for us to actually have and see what you guys did.
Yeah.
But we can only, this list is only based on recorded basketball as of 1992. You know what I mean? So there's no disrespect to none of the elders, and I wish I had footage or I wish I had some type of way to validate what you guys have done. I mean, he brought up some guys, from back in the day that they used to, put in the work, and like some of our family members.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Junie Myvick.
Yeah.
Evandale Colburn.
Yeah. So much respect.
JJ Lynch.
Yeah, much respect to all those
Those are
guys.
honorable mentions.
Nah,
Yeah.
those are just legends, man.
Those are legends.
Legends, okay.
man.
Yes.
We we're not going
Okay.
to disrespect those guys either, because what we're not going to do is to tear down one person to make another person look good.
Right.
We all one people. You know what I'm
So
saying?
we're gonna go from,
All right, let's
25 to number 1.
Yeah. So do you want me to just go all the way up, or we start five
We're
at a
gonna
time?
just start. We're gonna start with their names, and what we can do, we can elaborate.
Talk about some of them.
Some of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Word.
A quick snippets on each other.
Snippets.
okay, so at number 25, the panel has voted Makalam.
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 Yeah. Makalam. Yo, much respect to
Makalam.
Makalam. 1992, Pentalake as the first ever champions. He was part of that team. Vital to that team.
Semi-pro champions?
Okay.
Okay.
Vital to that team.
Okay.
You know what I'm
24.
saying? Yeah, the point guard with the slick Jerry curl back then. You
All
feel me?
right.
But he was definitely, hold up, man.
Yeah.
This man deserves.
Stop
by
watch
the way,
this man early.
by the way, rest in peace, Makalam. You know what I'm saying? Rest in
Doesn't
peace.
have to be.
He passed
Rest in
away.
peace.
He
All right.
passed away a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Makalam. He was one of Belize's legend, and he needs to be respected on that. Straight
All
up.
right. At number 24, we have Colin Grant.
Colin 01 Grant. Yo, one of the deadliest shooters.
First Belizean basketball player I ever met. I would say I met him in the U.S. He came to visit. JJ Lynch Giraffe. That was how I met Colin Grant.
Colin Grant.
So
Colin Grant, Jajan. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
One of Polo shooters, you know what I'm saying? Sharp shooter. You know what I mean? Could shoot a basketball to a donut, man. Straight up.
So what's up? All right, number 23, we have Carlston Jungle Thornton.
Yes.
Jungle, yeah.
Jungle.
I think people, listen, man.
Debatable. I think he should be higher, but we'll
Yo,
keep
Big
going.
Jungle. Respect,
My
man.
guy, my
Yes,
guy.
that's my dude, man. He in LA right now, holding it down.
Yeah.
Big
We'll
Jungle.
talk about that later.
Big Jungle, yo, hold up. Big Jungle, Penta Lakers, man, back in the 90s, man. He used to, man, mash up things. Big Jungle.
All right, number 22, Kenmore Smith.
Yes, sir. Kenroy, C-Roy Smith, man. That's one of my teammates from CARICOM, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Man, that man is athletic out there. You know what I mean? Came to America, played college ball. He killed in college ball up here in the States as well. You know what I mean? One of my closest friends, man. Much respect to Kenroy, man. He's definitely one of Belize's top basketball players.
All right, number 21. I know this one. Actually, I knew Kenmore too. Raymond Futi Gongora.
Red eyes.
Yeah,
Red eyes.
But hold on.
I
This
know
is
that
Before
guy.
there was Raiders.
I know that guy.
Hold on.
Good
This
guy.
is what y'all don't know though. Footy was actually part of Penta Lakers originally. Big up to Footy. Legend.
I will say that, you know, I'm always different perspective. I met that guy several times out on the streets of Belize before I didn't even know he played basketball. Straight up good guy.
Yeah.
Straight up good guy.
Right.
Footy, good guy.
What I like
man.
about Footy also, man, he's a ghetto youth. You know what I'm saying? He's from
Yeah.
the south side like me. And he kept it real the whole way through, man. He was a down-to-earth dude up to this day, man. So much respect, much love to you, bro. You a legend, my man.
Red eyes.
Yes, sir.
All right, number 20 is the Admiral Lamb.
Yes,
Is
Lai
that his
Lai, the Admiral, Lai. You know Admiral, Maria Chang Best. Yo, not a legend. Yo, Lai, you should put in work back then, man. As a matter of fact, man, he was the only guy from Maria Chang, hands down, carry that team, man. And you know what I mean? And anyone that watched semi-pro early, I played with the battle. He won the championship with me too back in 2001, man. He's a champ too, man.
Okay.
He's a legend. He's a champ, man. Lai, you a legend too, bro. Top 25 for me, baby.
All right, number 19. I think this is a CARICOM. Olin Simplice.
Yo, big up to Big O, another legend. He's a gold medalist, a
That's
legend.
right.
He also played for the Raiders, believe it or not, man.
I remember.
You remember he
for the
played,
Raiders.
but the thing with O, man, like I said, O didn't play that long. And if O would have played that long, because I'm telling you, O is a sick shooter, man. Okay, to me, he's probably one of the best shooters on that list. You know what I'm saying? But O is always focused on what he's doing right now. He's always into trying to get his training stuff going. He went to college for all that stuff, man, and that's what he's doing now. And I have much love for him, man. He's a legend still in Belize. He's a gold medalist.
That's right.
And, yo, much love to you, O.
Number 18. Well, we all know this one.
My guy. Another one
Edward
of my
Bart
guys right
Sanchez.
there. Another one
Now
of
that's
my guys.
Raiders to the bone, right?
It doesn't get more Raiders than this dude, man.
Red eyes.
Yo, big up Bart, man.
Not
Bart is one of the most craftiest dudes I know, man. As a matter of fact, man, I used to watch that dude back when and pattern my game a little bit off Bart, man. Bart was a fearless dude, didn't back down from nothing up to this day, Marcelo, man.
And that's where I was gonna go with Bart. Bart is you talk about good guy. When you talk about somebody that if they say they got your back, they got your back.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody that loves Belize.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Loves Belize.
Yo, the youngsters need to understand, man. Bart, big
Yes.
up.
When you think about Puller's love for Belize, I look at Bart and how Bart is passionate about things that go on not just in basketball, but the way the government is, the way the communities are in Belize, and Bart is just
Into everything.
those are the kind of guys that I when I look at them, I think bigger,
Belize.
bigger. I
Right,
think Belize.
right.
Yeah, but I also want to bring up, man, like a couple years ago, Bart and myself, we were, was fortunate and granted to be enlisted in the Western College Hall of Fame. So
Oh, he's Wesley College too?
Yeah, Bart. Yo, listen, man, Bart.
Oh, come on.
Bart. You don't be hating on us, bro, but big up Wesley, big up Bart, man. You're a legend all the way around, man. Straight up.
All right, number 17. Ah, it's a friend of mine, Darren Bovell.
Legend. Legend.
And a good guy too.
Good guy.
Good character.
Yo, Bo was, man, you can't even mention Belize basketball without Bovell, man. straight up and down. Like from 1992.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about
definitely from
to
I've
this
been
day, because
watching.
now he's giving
Darren's
back
been
too.
playing.
I mean, he's giving back.
He's a coach now,
he's
right?
a coach.
Yeah.
One of them new teams down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He coaches. He's an
That's
assistant
it.
coach of the national team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Bub has been around basketball his entire life. Bub was an MVP of semi-pro back in the day, man.
Shout out, Bub.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big Bub,
Big
man.
up.
Straight up. What's love?
All right, number 16, Vince Post Estrada.
Not a dog. That's my.
That's
no, this is my dog right here. You know what I'm saying? Porsche.
Yeah.
On the south side. Same zone. You know what I'm saying?
Great guy.
Great guy. Came from the same camp.
Can I just say that's a friend of mine? That's a friend of mine. Post is the man. That's my guy.
Post, straight, sharp shooter. And again, Post and Bart.
Handles.
And
Don't take away from his handles,
Handles,
man.
too.
He got handles.
These guys even though these guys we're talking about didn't play college ball here in the States, don't get it twisted. If these guys were given the right opportunities, they would have killed in college basketball if they had a chance here in the States.
Shout out, Post.
Shout out, Post. Big up. Man.
All right, number 15, Evan Duck Garnett.
Not a dog, man. Not a dog. Because people tend to forget the whole Raiders situation was Duck, man. Back in the day.
He's
Duck
all
was
Raiders?
What? Duck was the original Raider. He's the point guard. He was the maestro, man. He's the one that got it done. And believe it or not, Duck played college basketball too, man. I think Duck went to Navarro Junior College in Texas, and he went to Texas A&M. So he played college ball too, man. I think he put up major numbers and stuff here in the States, but he's one of those guys that had the opportunity to came in and did his thing. Went back home and got into the politics situation, but Duck definitely is a legend. Right.
All right, number 14 is Junior Mivett.
Yes.
Is that your family we're talking
Family
about?
member.
Family member,
Okay.
man.
Junior's good.
Why is Junior number 14 on this list?
Man, for one, Junior.
Impact.
Huh?
Impact.
Junior went to
Impact,
Belize
okay.
and smashed up Belize when he played down there, man. He
Okay.
killed Belize. In addition to that, he played college basketball here in the States. He played in Division One. What college he went to?
St.
man?
Mary's.
St.
He
Mary,
played
man.
St. Mary's.
Played St.
Okay.
Mary, man. A legend, man.
And not to mention two high school state championships.
Word up.
High school city championships. Not just and to put it in perspective, he won those championships at Crenshaw High School. So if anybody knows about
Toughest
Crenshaw High School, that's one of the most dominant, fearless
That's right.
high schools in the state of California back in the era in the 80s, 70s and 80s. Crenshaw High School, just a side note, is one of the only high schools that has a world championship.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
World, which
Okay.
means that high school traveled around the world and was beating everybody.
That's
That's
what's
right.
up.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, number 13. This is a Caricom player, Kent Bennett.
That's my dogs.
My
again.
dog, my guy.
Yeah. Not a
Kid.
dog.
Kid.
Yo, KB, for the most part, when he came to play in Belize in '98, was hurt. So unfortunately, Belize didn't get the opportunity to be exposed to what
Okay.
KB can do. But I was fortunate enough to be around this man for a long period of my life. He was the one that even got me to college, believe it or
Oh,
not.
wow.
Because it was his college coach that came and looked at me and gave me an opportunity. Went to college in my school in Long Beach. But KB, man, I saw the tapes, man. I saw the tapes.
Yeah.
You went to Manuel Larks.
Mm-hmm. And lost the championship to my cousin Junior Mivett.
Yeah.
So
wow.
shout out
Okay.
AKB. I know you're gonna hear this, but Junie's name should be ahead of yours. KB is my dog.
Okay.
And he grew up in my neighborhood.
That's
KB,
right.
grew up right around the
Belize
corner
to
from
the
me.
bone too,
To the
man.
bone.
Much
Belize
Shout
to
out
the
KB
bone.
and your brother Arthur.
That's
My
right.
All
dog.
right. All right, number 12, getting close to this top 10 here. Number 12, Fred Garcia, big man.
Big Fred.
Yeah.
Big Fred. Yo. Fred Garcia was like Tim Duncan back in the day, man. Big fundamentals, you know what I'm saying? He was a big guy that had skills, man. You know what I mean? He's definitely one of Belize's top basketball players. Panther Lakers, 92, won the championship with Shaba and those guys as well. 98, Caricom champion. You know what I mean? I think Fred even went overseas a little bit when he came to school out here to, I think, a small NAIA school. But he did his thing, man. You know what I'm saying? But Fred was, Fred didn't, carry on with basketball too long. He decided to get into his own personal business. I think he's an entrepreneur now.
That's what's up.
But he's definitely one of Belize legends as well. So much respect, Fred.
Shout out Fred.
Number 11 is our very own Quentin Lamb Fuller.
That's right.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I didn't want to talk about myself, so go true.
I was hoping, I was saying, man, I hope this guy didn't talk about himself. Please step back. You know. I can say that, you know, Clint, you know, I'm not being biased, that's my cousin. The guy's put in the work. He's put in the work, and he did, and you know, can't say much. His work speaks for itself. His body of work. He worked hard. He's been on the national teams. He's put the numbers up. You know, he's fully capable and did perform, you know, at a high level against everybody that they put in front of him. The man deserves his due.
Oh, much respect.
Do it, and then maybe one day down the line, maybe they will put it. No, I don't think they're gonna put it.
Nah, I think that's right. I want to put me too long.
No, after this show.
Put on milk before me, definitely.
Yeah, but the man, he did put in work. His body of work speaks for itself.
High school champion in
numbers
Belize,
show.
MVP, played college ball.
On every level, man. On every level.
Was also a member of the CARICOM team, gold medalist. Okay, and another. Well, everyone knows this one.
This is another one that I feel like, you know,
one.
my cousin should jump. Clint should definitely be a hold of this next name, but I mean,
nah, man,
it's debatable. Nah,
Darwin Carter is number 10. Starting out number 10, Darwin Carter, the sharpshooter.
Darwin is a sharp shooter, man.
He's my guy. He's a good guy.
Oh yeah, man. This dude, if he's hot, it's over.
Lights out.
The game is over, man.
Lights out.
And by the way, man, Darwin was also one of those guys also that played the national team for a long time.
Lights out shooter.
He mentored a lot of these kids. He was a champion for the Raiders, for UB.
That's right.
He carried us with the UB squad back in 2001. Him and Dwight.
Did you guys win that year?
We won the championship.
Okay. The
next year after, he won again in 2002 with him and Dwight. And you know, to me, that was the best year. But Darwin, definitely, man, like everyone in Belize knows, man.
Everyone knows that name.
He went to, by the way, he went to Tennessee State. This man, you know, this full dude went to Tennessee State, and I think he transferred to San Angelo State. You know what I mean, where he did his thing. You know what I mean, and he's multi-talented too, man. The man is a track and field star and a basketball star. So
lights out,
much respect to you, dog.
Belizean to the bone. Love Belize. All right, number 9. Not really familiar with this one. I think I heard his name before on the national team. Keenan Jordan.
Keenan, man. You know Keenan?
Nah.
So Keenan, man, went to Boston College, man. Belizean, played with us in the 2009 national team that won the silver medal in Mexico. But we've been trying to get Keenan. As a matter of fact, Keenan was supposed to be on that 98 CARICOM team, but he was caught up with whatever contract situation he had overseas. He played overseas.
So he played overseas.
Played overseas for at least 20 years, man. 15 years.
Wow. That's what's up.
Yeah. So Keenan put in the work.
Shout out Keenan. Never got a chance to meet you.
Big love, much love, Keenan.
Love.
All right, number 8, another known, Alex Carcamo.
Good guy, but I don't think he should be that high.
You don't think he should be that high?
No disrespect.
We're going to talk about that after we do it. After we finish, we'll talk about that.
I'm going to defend Alex to the bone, man, because Alex earned everything that he got, man. Alex, again, that good guy, one of my personal homeboys, gold medalist, CARICOM. He won the silver in 2009 with us as well. Been around the national team. He played semi-pro with BTL. He lost to us in 2001, by the way. You know, but man, this dude put in work, man. He put in work, and these young guys need to respect him and show him the love, man. So I know what you did, big bro. You know what I mean? And I think you definitely, in the top 10.
All right.
Debatable again. Good guy, though.
We'll debate.
Let's
get through the list, and early I will hear your concerns. Number 7, Superman, Keith Acosta.
He's a cornhead. Yo, this my dog too, man. Yo, this my man. This my homeboy, man. And I don't think these kids down there now, because I saw him down there playing, man. I was trying to figure out why the hell he's still playing. But yeah, for real. But Keith is a legend.
Because he loves the game.
He loves basketball, man. This man, again, champion through the bone, played college ball, went to, I think, Navarro as well, like Duck, and went to Texas A&M, which he played for 1 year. But he put in the work, man. He missed the Belize. He played overseas a little bit, too.
That's right.
And won championship with the Raiders. And, yeah, man, much love to you, Keith, man. And generally the top,
Yes.
top 10. in
Definitely.
Belize.
Definitely.
Oh, early agreed.
Definitely. Keith, I've seen a lot of these guys play. And Keith is deserving, if not higher. But but he's definitely deserving. You never get any complaints about me about that.
I ain't gonna lie, even my dog corner, but on this list, you exactly where you at, bro. I think you.
And I believe Keith should be one step up too. But go ahead.
All right, and that leads us into who you think he should be ahead of.
Kurt Smith.
Which is Kirk Shaba.
Yo, big
Smith.
up Shaba.
Shaba's a guy. Shaba's a good guy.
Kirk Shaba Smith.
I watched Kurt in the NCAA tournament at Weber State in '95.
That's what's up.
Kurt did his thing. Kurt was what we used to call as a Windex man. He grabbed all the rebounds.
That's right.
Shaba was a board patrol, like we used to say back in the day.
Rebound hound, man. Shaba,
and the game that he played against was against Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Oh,
I watched that
Are
at
you
Wake
serious?
Forest. Weber State against Wake Forest. Shaba held his own. Shaba, you get it. You get it.
Man,
I'm
about to say, we deserve Shaba like that, bro.
Shaba's the man. Shaba's the man.
Shaba, man.
But still, Keith should be ahead of him.
Listen, man.
No, I'm joking on that one. I forgot about that. I had to go back into my mental, my archives to remember that game.
Okay.
Shaba, man, you're the anchor of the national team, bro. If it wasn't for you, bro, we won that gold medal, man. Believe that, man.
So he's on the 98 CARICOM as well,
98 CARICOM team,
right.
man. He played
That's
us all over Venezuela and Cuba and
Board Patrol.
Man, all the national teams that did well.
All right.
Other than in 2009. Shaba was the man, bro.
All right,
Top
we're
10,
jumping into top five.
And we'll get to that after our commercial break. Sounds good.
All
this
right,
is brought to you by
number
Sunny
five.
and Tan Bun.
You're gonna be like those games that are in the semi-pro that they're playing the commercials in the middle of the game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, number 5 is Dwight Myvin.
Yes.
Definitely. Man.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
There's agreement
Another one. Another great one.
Man.
Phenom.
Tell me about Dwight.
Man, where did I start with this dude, man? Man, when we first got to, when I was staying at your mama's, I was a kid. And this dude used to always take me to play basketball, right? And he was like, this one particular day, hey man, Dwight about to join us. That's because he just came in from, I think he was in Japan or China. Yeah, he just came in. And I was like, cool. And I was like, man, let me just see what I can do against this dude, man. And this dude, what, 6 foot, if that?
6'1",
If that.
maybe.
This dude took off on me, man. This dude took off on me, man. And I was like, just amazed. And he was so finesse.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? His game was just finesse. He's a finisher. Oh my God, where did I start with this guy, man?
This guy, I have watched play basketball growing up. Fortunately, we both grew up in the same neighborhood, and Dwight was what you refer to as a gym rat, and all he talks about and all he does is basketball. Another Crenshaw great. Okay. And Division I basketball, played at University of New Orleans, played in the NCAA tournament also, and has played basketball Brazil, played basketball in Spain,
all over, man.
Played basketball all over. I mean, the guy is just So that number 5, I won't debate that. But actually, he should be higher than Nigel too. But go ahead.
And that's number 4. Number 4
can't
is
wait to get into the discussion.
Nigel Miguel. Let's get through the list early. Nigel Miguel, number 4. Tell us about him. I don't really know that much. I know him as an actor.
So Nige left Belize when he was 6 years old. Mm-hmm. Played in LA. Nige went to.
I can't remember where he went.
I know he went to UCLA.
Yeah, he did go to UCLA, but I
went to UCLA. Nige got drafted to the NBA by the Brooklyn Nets in 1985.
New Jersey.
But he got cut. Mm-hmm. Then he ended up going to the CBA. And for the youngsters, the CBA is what the G League and the D League is today. Nige averaged about 17 and a half, 18 points in the CBA. You know what I'm saying? Nige put that work in, dog.
And he's Belizean?
He's as it is right now.
To the bone.
Nige became a movie star. You know what I mean? Movies like White Man Can't Jump.
That's where I saw him.
Yeah, and different commercials, and You know what I mean? So people might know him for his acting and what he's doing now in the Belize with the whole acting situation. But when it comes to basketball, Nige is definitely
Top 5. All right.
hands down.
Debatable.
So, number
Now you
3
feel like
on
a
the
man.
list, Marlin Baronet.
Not a dog. Played with this guy, was my roommate in Cancun.
That's 2010,
Yes. 2009.
9.
Marlon, man, he played with Steve Nash at Santa Clara. You know what I'm saying? Ended up for a short stint, played in NBA for the Boston Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
After which he took his talents overseas, where he played for about 12 to 15 years.
Isn't he a coach or assistant coach
He's
in
still
the
assistant.
NBA?
Yeah, he was coaching here in
He was in
Atlanta.
Atlanta. I saw him.
He was the
play.
assistant
Yeah.
coach here in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
and he coached assistant coach at Phoenix.
Okay.
So he's still in the game, but he's definitely. As a matter of fact, the last game in Mexico, man, that man dropped 40 on Mexico.
Whew.
40.
So,
And he didn't even bust a sweat. He was just getting started. So much respect to
Marlon.
Marlon, man.
All right. That leads us to our number 2 on the list is none other than Quentin Cooler Lightburn.
Yo, but let me say this, man. So the 1 and 2 are like 1A and 1B to me, man. You know what I'm saying? 1A and 1B. But Puller is definitely Belize's legend. Hands down.
Cooler
Yes.
played college ball as well, right?
Puller played college ball. His stats is just too. I can't even. But like his stat, he got that Wilt Chamberlain type stats in Belize, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like straight up, as far as his playing days, home builders, Jajam, the whole 9 yard, man. And he got into coaching, managing. You know what I mean? He did his thing with Future
Give it
Shop.
back. Yeah.
The impact he left on the country in Belize,
He-
definitely.
He's leaving. He's still here.
Yeah, he's still here.
All right.
You deserve the flowers, but you definitely
All right.
a
So
legend of 1 and 2.
before we get into number 1, just for our latecomers who might be saying, I'm catching 2 and 3, I want to know 25 up. Let me just quickly recap. Number 25 was Macalam, 24 Colin Grant, 23 Carlson Jungle Thornton, 22 Kenmore Smith, 21 Raymond Futigongara, 20 the Admiral Lamb, 19 Olin Simplice, 18 Bart Sanchez, 17 Darren Bovell, 18 Vince Post Estrada, that was 16, sorry, 15 Evan Duck Garnett, 14 Junior Mivett, 13 Kent Bennett, 12 Fred Garcia, 11 Clinton Lamb Fuller, 10 Darwin Carter, 9 Keenan Jordan, 8 Alex Carcamore, 7 Keith Acosta, 6 Kurt Shaba Smith, 5 Dwight Mivett, 4 Nigel Miguel, 3 Marlon Garnett, 2 Clinton Cooler Lightburn, and number 1 goes to none other than Milton Palacio.
Milt Palacio.
Believes his
Definitely.
best.
Yes, I mean, come on, man.
Hands down, I agree.
Man, come on, man. This man played, out of all of us, man, this man went the farthest, played in the NBA the longest.
7 years?
Yeah, 7 years, from 1999 to 2006. Sat there from the jump. I mean, I was in the gym when he was when he was playing in the NBA, like the tryouts, man, for the Grizzlies. I saw this man busting ass. You know what I mean? I saw him gave Sean Marion 30 in college, man.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is a dog, man. I could go on and on and on, but to him, you think I'm being biased. But Milt, you definitely, for me, number 1.
You said to me, I think you're being biased.
Yeah,
What
man.
makes you say
So
that?
let's start the
Why you
debate
say
early.
that? Why you
Early.
say that?
Is Milt number 1?
It's debatable. I mean,
Okay, debate it.
and I simply say, I mean, what are the criteria
For what?
that make a person at the number that they are? What's the what are we gonna what's the whole entire body of work? What are we looking at?
Criteria.
Just what they do
Entire
on the
body of
court?
work.
Well,
No.
we're talking about basketball. I mean,
Accomplishment.
well, if it comes to just body of work for the Belizean people, you give that definitely to the legend pool. Like
That's,
that.
Mm-hmm.
and that would be my thing.
Yeah,
you know?
but we're talking about basketball and how far they went. impact. You know what I mean?
And you know,
there's no Belizean that did what Milt did.
But let me say this. Let me say this, and I want to be clear. I don't. No disrespect to any of these guys. I believe. I mean, Milt is. Milt is phenomenal. Milt is phenomenal. Everybody on that list. Everybody on that list, honestly, to me, deserves to be on that list. But I always say that when you look at opportunities, where would some of these guys have really ended up with opportunities?
That's true.
And I say that because, and Clint always says, I talk about our cousin Dwight. I've seen Dwight play basketball for years, and we've had NBA players that Dwight has played against that has always said that, you know, man, you deserve a shot, but he never got any shots. And that's, but it's always about being in the right place at the right time. I mean, this guy has played all over the world. He's played all over the world. He's played for Magic Johnson's travel team, but never got that. So, and then I another one in the NBA. I mean, I look at Keith. Keith, for example, that's another guy. I think had he been in California playing someplace else at another college, I think Keith would have gotten a lot farther too. Because I look
Keith
at
was on the sides though. That's my problem with Keith.
Yeah,
he was on the sides, and knowing how the game is, because I played college ball here too, man. And you know, looking at it, like Keith's my dog, man. He's one of my good friends. But to keep it all the way 1,000 with you, man, Keith wasn't made it in the United States. On the level we were talking about. Where you know, I didn't say he would make it pro. Yeah, I didn't say he did. But my fault. But I thought you was talking about in regards to.
Oh no, making it pro. No. None of this. I'm talking about as far as the being able to be more accomplished and because everybody knows everybody can't make it to the NBA.
That's right.
But I think Keith would have been one of those guys that would have probably been playing in China for some years.
Definitely.
Became a phenom, but it was just the opportunities for some of these. So I take opportunities. I take, character. I take how they represent Belize, because this is a Belize show. And I take, their influence on others. Those are the type things. I mean, hands down, if we're just looking at basketball wise, I mean, and Milt made it the furthest, and that speaks for itself. I mean, Milt is a phenomenal player. I'll never say Milt is not a good player. Milt is awesome. Milt is awesome.
Man, I watched Milt. This is like before CARICOM. People tend to forget this game, but back in '98, we had like an exhibition game against a bunch of NBA guys, which includes Kenny Smith, Tracy Murray, and a bunch of other NBA guys. You know what I'm saying? And Milt gave those guys the blues. Milt gave them niggas like 35 that night. And it was that night, I think, those guys in the league realized that this kid might have a shot to go to the NBA. I remember when we went to Venezuela and Milt and Dwight was killing. But that day, Milt got a contract in Venezuela for, I think it was $250,000 to play basketball. And he turned that down because he wanted to pursue his NBA dream. So again, I was around to see a lot of the things that he did.
And that was one thing with Dwight. Dwight had a baby at a young age. So Dwight's thing was life.
Yeah.
Family first. So the opportunities to make money overseas and things like that was where Dwight went. He elected to go do that and take care of family.
Right. So
when you look at these, it's all. And I want to stress that I'm not trying to put down any of the top 25 players. I believe all are deserving and all represent Belize well.
So let me ask you a question, because you made a big thing about my man Alex, that I believe is
in
the top 10.
What's up with that?
All about?
What's up with Alex's position? Alex is currently Alex is on number 8.
I watched Alex play.
So what's your criticism of Alex?
I'm just feeling like he's not as dominant as he should be. He's not a dominant.
So where would you put him on this list?
Now you put me on the spot, but
I want to put you on the spot.
I'm gonna go there.
If you're going to go out there and say,
that's right here, we ain't got to go too far. Yeah.
He's placed
Alex is number at number 8.
Yeah.
I believe that.
So who he thinks would be ahead of him?
Hold on. Darwin, you, Evan Duck, Darren Bovell,
You think all these
Oh,
guys
wow.
supposed to be
Yes,
around?
yes. Those four right there. And I'll say it again. I believe Darwin, you, Evan Duck, Darren Bovell absolutely should be above him. Absolutely, absolutely. And I say
Why
that
is
because
Alex at number 8 on the list?
I'm
sorry.
I think that that a person that can't. I mean, I'll let you go. I'll let you go. I'll let you go. I'll let you. And let me say this because at some point Alex is going to hear this, but I will say that I'm not saying that Alex is not a good basketball player. I'm not saying he's not. And keep in mind, I played semi-pro for a couple of years, but I've coached and trained basketball for about 15 years.
Right.
Gotcha.
Maybe longer than that.
Mm-hmm.
So
what is
the
it that
game
you
of
don't-
basketball that I do.
What is it that you're saying? Because people want to know. People just saying. So you're making your point.
So, okay.
What exactly?
Okay, Alex is what,
he's-
6'9", 6'10"?
He's about 6'7".
Okay, 6'7". And Alex is not he's not a dominant ball handler. Is he a dominant ball handler?
No, he's not.
Okay, is he a dominant rebounder for that size?
No,
he's not. Is he a lights out? Is he a dominant outside shooter?
No, he's not.
I don't want to say anything else then.
Okay, Quentin, he's made his point. Why is Alex number 8 on your list?
Because I've watched this guy on the national team for years.
Okay.
How many years has Alex been on the national team? Twice, right?
No. At least 6 times. At least 6 times.
6.
Alex played with me and
I know you played in 90.
we played in 98 twice. Because remember in 98 we played CARICOM and after that we went to Venezuela. So Alex was there. Alex went to Cuba.
Okay.
Alex went to I think it's El Salvador. Alex went to Mexico about 6 times, right? And he went recently to the squad that lost the other day when they went to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
But he was down there too.
Yeah, just recently.
Yeah,
but he's
that
over.
was kind of
He was
Yeah. Alex, man.
his best days were behind him.
My only thing, man, what I would say to me when it comes to Alex, like most older players, that you should at least just got into culture like Milton and gave the younger kids their time, their shot. You know what I mean? I think as basketball players, we tend to, you know what I mean, don't want to just give it up because we're still holding on to what we think we can do. You know what I'm saying?
I gave mine up. I realized, look, I had a little run. I had a little run and I was good.
You know what I'm saying? I think Alex would have been a much more dominant player, or his legacy would have been more untarnished if he would have just got into coaching.
Where did he go to school?
He went to Eastern Washington. Went to Santa Monica Junior College.
Yeah, I remember that's where I left him.
I think him, Darwin, and Olin played at Santa Monica. And after that, Alex was fortunate to go to Eastern Washington.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He wasn't a big-time dominant player at Eastern Washington.
So I'm going to say it again. Did he dominate the boards?
No.
Was he a lights-out shooter?
No.
Could he handle the rock?
He could handle the rock, but not like a point guard.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know you're talking
I'm not
about.
talking about a point guard, but could he just like take people off the dribble?
Nah, but what he was a dominant below the 17-footer shooter. He was a dominant go-getter as far as slasher. You know what I mean? You give him the ball, below that free throw line, he can make it work, man.
I tell you what, I think Clint is biased to his teammates. He doesn't want to, and I get it.
It's possible.
It's not possible, man. It's just,
good.
To be honest with you,
Alex, I'm gonna have to look at some tapes.
Yeah,
maybe I'm.
Okay.
Who
else on the list? Were their position on the list you were not exactly
I like this.
happy with?
I'm loving this.
Yeah, earlier in the conversation, man, you made a comment about the grit or one Colin Grant. So what's the situation with you and 01, man? Because to me, he's one of the best shooters too, man.
Well, you see, the thing is, I saw him play at a late age. I will say that. So therefore, fair. I can't really say much because Colin Grant played on I think Akros. It was Akros Burners. When I played for Venus.
Okay.
And he didn't do a whole lot then, and then the year after I think he played again the year after or the year before or something like that. He didn't do a whole lot, but I give more respect I don't want to say respect, but I would give more of an edge to Colin than I would to Alex because I've seen Alex play a lot more than I've seen Colin.
Okay.
And Darren Bavell, when I played, and years after, Darren Bavell balled.
Right.
That guy balled. So for him to be all the way down at 17, and I'm gonna tell you this, Darren Bavell's body of work in semi-pro is much better than Alex Carcamo's in Belize semi-pro.
So Alex didn't play that long in semi-pro, so that's probably a fair statement to make. But I played Bub too, man. I used to watch Bub. And to me personally, it's just me. It's no knock to Bub. Bub is a legend, you know what I mean? But I think on that team, man, Post was a better player, man. I just think, I used to watch Hot Points. It was Santina's Hot Points back then. And to me, I always thought Post Estrada was the better player on that squad. So no disrespect to Bub, but that's just my feeling, man.
Okay.
And I think, you know what I mean, his game was kind of unorthodox.
That's what, and I was going to ask you that a minute ago. Is it just because his game was kind of unorthodox? Because, like when you mentioned Sean Marion, he had an awkward game, but he's a fly. He's a
Bub
fly.
game was unorthodox in the sense
Bub
that I don't even know
yes, Bub
what position is Bub. He's 6'3", 6'4".
What position was Alex?
Alex
He's
plays
6'7".
Yeah,
but they had him playing center.
No, where?
No, I mean they had Alex play. He didn't play center.
No, Keenan and Shaba played center.
So that make
So Alex played at 3.
Alex played the 3, but Alex can't shoot. The 3 is a shooting position.
Alex,
hold on.
I've seen Alex hit.
You've been convicted.
I've seen
Alex is.
I've seen Alex
we all
hit
know
that 17
that a
footer.
3 at the 3 spot, 2 and 3, you got to be able to shoot.
Agreed.
I guess again.
Unless you're a slasher.
Yeah, that's what he was.
Slasher.
And the man gets buckets too. Man.
I want to stress. I'm not saying Alex can't go. The question posed to me was the number.
Right. Just where he should be.
And I don't believe.
Okay.
I don't believe that he deserves to be number 8.
I'm looking at the list right now. If I was to make any change, the change would probably be. I would probably put Olin higher than what Olin is in.
I agree. Swap him out for Alex.
You know?
So early, your top 10 would be who?
Yeah, Olin can shoot.
Who would be your top 10?
My top 10.
What would your top 10 look like? Like, who would you change? I know Alex would be out.
The only one I would pull out of the top 10 would probably. I haven't seen Keenan. I never seen Keenan play either. But
Okay.
I noticed the energy and the emphasis that Clint put on Keenan.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't put the same on Alex. So that I noticed how he put the emphasis on Keenan, but he didn't put the same on Alex, which supports my argument that I would pull Alex out, and I would either put Clint in the top 10, or I would put let's see, Duck in the top 10. Either Clint or Duck in the top 10.
Yeah, I think again for me, I would move Olin. I moved Olin up to about. To me, yeah, and about between at 15 where Duck is, man.
Okay.
I think Olin was a better player than
All right.
Okay, let me ask you, who's the better player, Olin or Alex?
Don't put me on the spot.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Come on.
Y'all
Answer
ask
the
me straight
question.
up. I'm gonna put it out there.
So there are two different players. I say that. That's just I ain't kind of cop out. Olin was a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Olin was a point guard.
So was Miller.
You know what I mean? And Olin, I'll be honest, because they're both my men.
He's running.
Both my boys. So I'll put it like this. So the problem with Olin, which is what it was, Olin, to me, issue was his weight. You know, if Olin could have got that weight situation straightened out, you know what I'm saying? Because he was a nice player, good shooter, good handles, had the tenacity with basketball and so forth. But he was an undersized guard, you know what I mean? And he was, you know what I mean, at the time, you know what I mean, to me, I felt like his weight restricted him from doing some of the things that he's capable of. Now, I think he's capable of doing, and that's the reason why I will give the edge to Alex, man.
Okay. All right. Well,
We're going to leave that there.
We're going to leave it there,
Leave it there.
but we definitely want to hear from our audience.
Please.
Sure. I mean, we'll post
We
these
want to hear
questions.
Let's
from
go.
you guys.
Yeah,
What do you think? Did we leave off
Rearrange
anybody?
this thing for me, people, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we leave someone
Please.
off that you guys are like, so where is this
Or
person
did we
on
put
this
somebody
list?
higher than they should have been?
Yeah, we'll post these questions on.
Yeah, we definitely want to hear from you guys. We will post the top 25 in the description. That way, you guys get a second chance to read it. As opposed
And shout out to
go
everybody
through.
on there. Shout out to Alex and everybody. I'm not trying to be mean.
Shout
I'm
out
just
to
trying
the
to,
top 25. I mean, that's huge to even make it on this list. But yeah, if you guys out there think this list is whack, crazy, on point, just let us know your thoughts. And this won't be the only basketball show we have.
Most
So
definitely.
on our next show, we can most definitely address, especially if we hear maybe the same name come up over and over. Like, wait, how did we not put certain people on the list?
Right.
Which might
And it's no
happen.
disrespect to nobody, you know what I mean, knowing these guys, but
Yeah, so for sure, let us know your thoughts. We're interested in that. You can find that information in the description. I'll post it on my Facebook page as well, just so that you guys can take a look at that. Clinton, you can do the same.
most definitely.
Post
Check
it on my
us
page
out on
early.
Facebook,
You
man.
can do the
Check
same.
this out.
Check us
Check
out on
us on
Facebook. Change the
Facebook,
narrative.
Change the Narrative,
On YouTube,
Instagram, Change the
YouTube.
Narrative. If
It-
you're watching this on YouTube,
It's
you
going to be
already
on
know.
iTunes, Spotify, all the major platforms as well. So, you know what I mean, get ready to check us out, man. We're going worldwide with it. And again, it's not a perfect list. And shout out to the guys, again, the older guys from the 70s, the 80s and so forth that held it down.
Yes.
Fortunately,
Uncle Junie.
yeah, a lot of you guys didn't get the props, but yo,
Rest in peace.
you know, I mean, rest in peace to
Right.
some of you guys, and much respect for the work that you did.
Right,
man.
and
Straight up.
Belize, give respect to our number 1 and 2 on this list. We want their jerseys in the Civic Center,
Definitely.
man.
Let's go.
Whoever
Give me a ladder.
can make
Give me a ladder. I'll
start
put
get these
both of them up
pieces
there.
moving. Let's do it, man.
I'll put
Let's
both
get
of them
these
up
guys
there.
up
Give me a
there.
ladder. Give me a ladder. They both deserve it.
Yeah.
They
right.
both deserve
That's
it.
So we will be back. Remember, this is not just a sports podcast. This is just episode 1. We're talking about sports tonight, but we will be talking about issues that affect Belizeans at home and abroad, on all levels. I'm talking politics, economy, relationship,
And why y'all keep eating them Chinese food from the Chinese people?
Yeah.
culture,
Vegans.
you know, all that. So look out for us. We'll be posting,
Best
letting you
high
guys
school,
know.
Western College.
Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, I think we do need to have a debate
Hey,
about
Kim,
the
and who have the
business.
prettiest girls? Catherine's or
Hands down.
Paloti or
Oh, please, St. Catherine's all the way.
That's right.
Oh, my
Keep
goodness.
Belize
Since
first.
you're gonna rep your little West, I gotta rep my St. Catherine's.
That's right.
Big
So
up
next time
SCA.
Kim is gonna wear her St. Catherine's shirt if she has.
Yeah, I gotta wear something
That's
St.
why you gotta
Catherine's because this
represent.
man come on up here in this
Gotta
Westland
represent.
shirt representing so hard.
I just love the hate, man. It feels good. I love it. It feels so good.
All right, guys, this has been great. Again, shout out to our top 25, whoever we left off. Let us hear about it. We can do something about that, and I don't know, maybe Early can convince Clinton to revise the
What
list,
would happen?
or maybe you can.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Keep Belize
so
first.
from all of us here at Change the Narrative, just remember you don't have to accept things the way that they are. You have the power to change your narrative, so get out there and do it.
Fight the power.
Let the power.
Keep
So,
Belize first in your minds and hearts.
That's right.
Kim Fuller signing out.
One love.
One love. Peace.
Peace.
All right, man.
See how smooth that hour went?